would be fair to say that the latest expansion for Elite Dangerous hasn't exactly received a positive reception. And with videos coming out from content creators, big and small, talking about moving away from the game, or at least expanding into other games, due to the lack of interest from viewers, it's starting to paint a rather worrying picture. Now, you might be wondering what happened to cause this, and you're in luck, because I'm quite frankly in the mood for a rant. Please note, if you're new to the game, then there's lots of stuff from Horizons and back that's amazing and worth playing, and if you're enjoying Odyssey, maybe don't watch this. I don't want to spoil your fun, just because I'm not having any. Otherwise, welcome to my 5 stages of grief. It's the 3rd of June, 2020, and the hype is real. Frontier have just announced an expansion, and they've dropped a trailer, and guess what? Space Legs! Finally, Space Legs! I have dreamed of this moment since I was in beta. I remember going up to destroyed ships and trying to poke around and look to see if I could see hints of what interiors are to come, and we're going to finally see them for real. I'm going to get to walk around and explore, go out, break open a cargo hold sneakily and steal their cargo while running in cold, silent mode, hopefully not getting caught. Wonder if you could steal the ships. Maybe that one's a bit too far. But what if you could? Could you maybe take over the ship? Maybe you could just go in and capture someone. Okay, we're pushing it. But at least we'll get to walk around our ships. We'll get to walk into space stations. We'll get to walk around our own ship and see it from the outside. And we'll get to visit different places and walk on foot and see the scenery. I have always wanted to fly and explore space, and there has been no more immersive experience that I have seen than Elite Dangerous. Being able to explore so many places and now being able to be more immersed in that is a dream come true. I cannot wait. I am ready to pre-order this very second. Nothing can spoil this hype. It's the 9th of September, 2020. 3 months since the hype became real. People have been asking about different aspects of the expansion, and eventually Frontier broke their silence and let us know that ship interiors would not be coming at launch. It takes a while for this to sink in. And I begin to wonder, well, how long will it be till we get the interiors? How long until these other features come? Will we still be able to evac? Will we still be able to go to other ships? How is that going to work? Are we not going to be able to open a cargo hold? What are we going to be able to do exactly? Very quickly, Yamix releases his assessment of the situation. It's rather negative, but, Yamix. And he does seem to talk about the disconnect between Frontier and the player base. And yes, there's been some issues. But the disconnect can't be this big, can it? It just can't be. It doesn't make sense that they would not realise how important this is to the player base. Although he does point out they had mentioned VR as well, which I kind of ignored in my initial panic over lack of ship interiors. That's concerning. But maybe they just don't have the abilities right away. Maybe that's how VR development works. You have to make it first and then implement the VR. I don't know, I'm not a developer. So maybe that's just the plan. Get the gameplay mechanics done right first, and then implement VR after. Maybe that's the same thing they're going to do with interiors. Get space legs working, get space station interiors sorted, and then try and figure out with a moving object. Yeah, that's it. That's what's happening. So the initial release just won't have it, but it'll be coming. Maybe it'll take another year after the release. But we'll see them. We will. It's the 11th of December, 2020. A new gameplay trailer has just been dropped by Frontier, and I have to admit, it's looking good. The new planet generation looks fantastic, and did you see the character inside the space station watching ships arrive? How amazing is that? Can't wait to see what all the different stations look like inside. How different will the ones on the ground be to the ones in space on each of the different space stations? How well will we be able to view different ships coming and going? That looks brilliant. I like it. I like it a lot. There's quite a focus on the first-person shooter element. Not really my thing, but, you know, it's fine. And it does make me think of some possibilities, like being able to board a capital-class ship and take it over on behalf of whichever faction you've sided with. That sounds good. Alright, Frontier. I'll buy a little bit back into the hype. But can we please have an update on ship interiors? I don't have to have the full ship, okay? How about I step back from that idea and we just have a corridor going from the entrance to the cockpit, with maybe just a handful of extra rooms depending on the size of the ship, just to give a sense of scale, like a captain's quarters and a canteen or something like that. Not even a big canteen, just something that will give me a sense of the size of the ship and allow me to walk a little bit around. Surely we can make that kind of a compromise. I'll tone down my expectations a little bit, and you can provide something that's a bit more realistic to meet. We don't even have to walk around while in space, maybe when we're just landed on a planet or on a space station. Would that be okay? Please, Frontier? It's the 19th of May, 2021, and Odyssey has finally released. And there's a lot of bugs, and it's pretty unplayable, and there's a lot of people feeling very unhappy at the moment. But I'm not quite there yet. I'll give it its time. I'll wait. I'll hold off, and I'll join in when it looks ready. Now, things get a little bit muddy. I've kind of lost track on which days exactly certain things happened. But at some point Frontier saw how bad the reaction was to Odyssey. That it didn't really contain anything of worth, quite frankly. At least not to me, and not to many others. And they started to communicate, which was a rarity. And finally we got to see their plans for interiors, their plans for VR. And there weren't any.
At the moment there are no plans for full ship interiors. That's a fact. And I think I expressed this on one of the streams before as to why they weren't going to be going in, and we did put it in the forum post. And it simply is, at the moment, it doesn't add enough value to the gameplay loops. That is what is the belief behind the development team, i.e. that the complexity of add this in, and it's not just adding in a ship interior like are in other games. It's then when you go in and you add a ship interior and you have all the various modules laid out in different locations, how it's going to look, and then be able to walk around them. And then it's well, then I've landed at base, I'm under attack and I want to get away, but it's taking me 30 seconds to run to the top of my Anaconda because this is now a one-to-one scale of my ship and I've got to go for every single door, etc., etc., and I've been blown up and this isn't fun anymore. Or I'm now bored because I just want to get on my ship and I'm sick and tired because I want to land, get out. It's great to have, and I can see it from both sides. I love the immersion stuff. I'm all over it, and I think it's fantastic. But I also look at it from the other point of view. If this doesn't add anything, it's going to get boring very quickly for people after that first 10, 15 times. If you're in a big ship and it takes you 30, 40 seconds to get through your ship to get off a planet, and then to get off your planet to go into a station, when you might drop something off, it will become tiresome because it's not a lift where you're just going in and you haven't got to do anything. You're actually going to have to run around and do stuff. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. It's not necessarily FDevs, but at the moment it doesn't.
Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? What game have you been playing? The gameplay loops in this game suck. They do. We all know it. You trading, you go to a station, you click some buttons, you go to another station, you click some more buttons, and you've wasted hours. And the only thing that keeps you going is the fact it feels real. There's no point in any combat mechanics at all. You don't earn money from it, but it feels cool, it feels immersive, it feels real. The amount of people who explore the galaxy in this game just to take pictures, to fly in front of stars in different places, to look at the bloody centre of the galaxy for no other reason than it's immersive, than it looks cool. And you're talking about adding these gameplay loops. What have you added? What gameplay loops have you added to this game? We go to the same looking facility on an ugly looking planet in order to shoot the same looking people with the similar AI, with no real understanding of what's going on or why any of this matters, other than the fact that if you really try really hard, you could maybe level up a suit in 27 hours if you make sure you do it right. That's it. That's what you've added to this game. An average first-person shooter that does a terrible job of having any progression at all, in any way. No real difference between the maps, other than a few changes here or there, but they all look very much the same. If I go and stand inside a power core here, you tell me what kind of world I am. Is this a tourist facility? How about if I go to a command center? Am I in a tourist facility now? Or am I in a mining center? Where am I? No idea. You couldn't tell. They all look the same. And the same with the station interiors. They're the same. Why are they all the same? Why are there no differences? It's like the developers of Euro Truck Simulator say that adding another truck doesn't add to gameplay, so we're going to put in our own first-person shooter element too. What on earth is going on? The disconnect can surely not be this big. It can't. And no further development on VR? Are you mad? Are you actually out of your minds? VR is one of the biggest selling points of this game. I have dreamed of getting a VR headset for no other reason but to play Elite Dangerous. And you're going to not provide any more development in that matter? What on earth is going on? And even more boring engineering, like we haven't had our fill of that already. It's ridiculous how long it takes to level up these weapons that I don't even care about in the first place. I have zero interest in grinding through that shit. I mean, what is the point? I deeply regret having bought this expansion. I deeply regret having ever trusted you. I will not be buying another Frontier. I will not. Alright. I've calmed down. I really love this game. I do. I've spent more money than I ever want to think about, both on in-game purchases like paint jobs and colours of your engines and lasers and a Kovas or more than one so that each of my ships can sound a little different, and even got voice attack packs so that they matched my Kovas system. I bought head tracking IR, multiple monitors so I could have it expanded across many screens, a HOTAS system. I didn't buy any of this for a game I want to fail. I genuinely love it. I genuinely want it to succeed. But I can't see how. My issue here lies not with what the expansion was. It's a failure, I'm going to say that. And sure, you might be enjoying it, and you might think that, oh, it's not so bad, it's a bit of fun. And that's fine. I'm glad you enjoy it. I don't, and I'm not alone. I might have been a bit overboard when I said it's like adding a first-person shooter to Euro Truck Simulator. But it does kind of feel like that. It feels like the developers completely don't understand the reason I bought the game. They don't understand what makes me come back to it, what makes me put so many hours into it. And there's so many little things I hate. I don't like the engineering part of it. And now we've got more. I don't like having to grind and grind for hours on the same monotonous task. And now we've got more. And that's all that's been added in my view. But the reason I kept doing those monotonous tasks was because I could do them in a spaceship. And I could feel like a commander of my own ship. And now I can't do that in this expansion. So what is there? For me, there's nothing. There is nothing left. And I cannot see any future for this game. I hope I'm wrong. I really, really do. But to me, this is the end. So, no ship interiors, no further development on VR, nothing added for the sake of immersion. Or, if anything is added for immersion, it better not last 30 or 40 seconds, that would be too long. Sorry, I'm still a little salty, but maybe it's not as bad as I was thinking. I've perked up. We've been here before. Let's not forget that Horizon's launch was not exactly terrific, and I'll be honest, not much was added to there that I'm super thrilled about, but driving on the planets with the buggy is cool. Let's be honest, it's cool. The materials gathering is boring. That's true. But it let you feel like you were genuinely in space, driving on a foreign planet. And that's what I love. The immersion. So, will Frontier change and start seeing immersion as the core point of this game? Or will it continue along this path? I don't know. I really don't. We'll have to wait and see, and will I run away from Elite Dangerous in despair like I was feeling before? Maybe. Maybe not. I am definitely going to be trying out some other space games. Going to see how they feel. I've already tried No Man's Sky and Star Citizen, and I'll have to be honest, I'm super impressed by both of them. They have made fantastic gains over the last few years since I last played. So I'll be giving them a try. Will I ever come back to Elite Dangerous? Probably. The game I love is still there. I've got all my peripherals. I can fly to the centre of the galaxy and look at Sagittarius A. Maybe if I manage to save up finally, I might be able to do it in VR. So, no. Maybe the world isn't as desperate as I was feeling before. I'm still unhappy with this expansion. I still don't feel it provides anything positive for the game. And that's honestly my opinion. Sure, you might be enjoying it. Maybe you are ready for some first-person shooter action in Elite Dangerous. I wasn't. But, you know, it's still there and it's okay, I suppose. It's not anything exciting. I do regret paying the money, but hey-ho. I have done. I'm here. I should remember, never pre-order, but I was excited. I won't be telling anyone to stay away from the game. I think there's a lot of fun to be had still. I just wish it was something different. I wish it lived up to the potential. I wish that what Braeburn described in his video during the beta release was what we were getting. So I'm going to leave you with that video. And hopefully that will give you an idea of what I bought into when I backed this game all those years ago. So, who knows what's coming next. But until then, fly safe, Commander.
Another example that we've built into the structure of the game is ship interiors. Now, a lot of people have seen, you've seen that we're designing all the ships with the interiors in mind, how the cargo is unloaded, all of that sort of thing, how damage occurs. And that's because that another thing that we are doing, again down the line, is that you will be able to walk around inside your ship, you'll be able to get out of your ship, walk around inside space stations, other vehicles, all of that sort of thing. We've shown the damage on the ship, the damage models. Imagine looking at that from inside the ship outwards, seeing your cargo flying out into space, seeing the flames, trying to fight them. All of those things that we plan with time, they won't be at the first release because we want to do them right, we want to do them well. All of these will be done as updates.